The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services is releasing an updated version of the Texas Child and Adolescent Needs and Strengths, or CANS, assessment. This video illustrates all the changes affecting those who use the Texas DFPS CANS 3.0 to serve children, youth, and young adults. The updates discussed in this video serve to modernize the Texas CANS in several ways, including the language used throughout is more culturally responsive, the item definitions and descriptions have been revised to enhance clarity, the criteria for each rating level, 0 through 3, are more clearly defined, ensuring consistency across different users, and information specific to medical needs and experiences of exploitation were added as modules. These updates make the tool easier to understand and apply accurately across diverse populations. Generally, the indicators that make up the CANS remain the same. However, they have been moved and regrouped based on the age of the youth being assessed. The age groupings for indicators are as follows: indicators for all ages, indicators for youth aged 3 through 5 years, indicators for youth 6 and older, indicators for youth 10 and older, and indicators for youth 14 and older. Let's take a look at the changes noted within each domain. Acculturation domain now is called Cultural Factors domain. Cultural factors identify linguistic or cultural issues for which service providers need to make accommodations. For example, providing an interpreter, finding a therapist who speaks the family's primary language, and/or ensuring that a child or youth in placement can participate in cultural rituals associated with their cultural identity. It is important to remember when using the CANS that people should be defined from the individual's perspective. For example, who the child or youth describe as a part of their family. The cultural issues in this domain should be considered in relation to the impact they are having on the life of the youth and how support could help. In the Strengths domain, cultural identity has been added as a new strength. This indicator focuses on internal resources and external connections children and youth gain from their cultural identity. A useful strength can include children whose cultural identity holds meaning and importance in their lives. Moving this indicator from a needs action level rating to a strengths action level rating helps affirm the relationship of cultural identity to child well-being. Risk factors and behaviors domain. Risk factors provide context and information for the rater about children ages 3 through 5 to note specific concerns related to the child's history and experiences. The risk behaviors domain is completed for all youth. For children ages 3 through 5, the child risk behaviors include 3 items: self-harm, aggressive behavior, and sexually reactive behavior. For children of all ages, child and youth risk behavior items remain with 2 slight language changes. Social misbehavior is changed to intentional misbehavior. Runaway is changed to runaway/bolting. Both the runaway/bolting and fire setting indicators activate a module when rated as actionable for youth ages 6 and older. For youth ages 6 through 21, the child and youth risk behavior indicators include 1 new item. Exploitation is used to examine a history and pattern of being the object of abuse and/or whether the child or youth is at current risk for re-victimization. This indicator includes children or youth who are exploited through human trafficking, labor, or sexual exploitation. Trauma domain. The trauma domain in the Texas CANS 3.0 version is comprised of trauma experiences indicators and traumatic stress symptoms indicators. The trauma experiences indicators are no longer rated using the 0 through 3 trauma experiences levels. Rather, they are rated as yes or no to indicate whether there is a known or suspected history of traumatic experiences. This change in the rating approach shifts the focus away from the severity of the exposure to a more straightforward focus on exposure. The traumatic stress symptoms continue to be rated on the 0 through 3 scale. Behavioral emotional needs domain. This domain has indicators rated for all ages, for ages 3 through 5, and for ages 6 through 21. For youth ages 6 through 21, the substance use indicator is linked to a module to be completed for youth rated as actionable on the substance use indicator. The main change in this domain involves the removal of the pica indicator. This concern can now be captured within the eating disturbance item. Life functioning domain. This domain includes indicators rated for all children, children ages 3 through 5, youth age 6 through 21, and youth age 14 through 21. Specific item changes include the following. School/daycare is now called school/childcare. Judgment/decision-making is now decision-making. And the medical and physical indicators were combined into a single medical/physical indicator. When rated as an actionable need, the medical/physical item activates the medical module additional items to identify unique medical health needs for the youth. Caregiver Needs and Strengths domain is now called Caregiver Resources and Needs domain. The main change to this domain is the addition of the marital/partner violence in the home indicator. In summary, the key changes that resulted in the Texas DFPS CANS 3.0 include improved clarity and language for ease of use and consistency, refined domains to reflect modern needs such as technology, social media, and nuanced trauma responses, enhanced caregiver assessment with more focus on caregiver capacity and needs, greater emphasis on trauma-informed care with specific attention to complex and intergenerational trauma, and cultural competence embedded more explicitly within the tool. These updates are intended to provide more clarity and consistency across diverse populations and are part of transforming supports and services for Texans and their families.